we've got a lot of malice. Some people say it's a lot of nerve. I say we won't quit moving until we get what we deserve. We've been bucked and we've been scorned. We've been treated bad, talked about, sure as born. But just as it takes two eyes to make a pair, brother, we can't quit until we get our share. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. He said, say it one more time. I think I heard you. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. I worked on jobs with my feet and my hand. But all the video game makers a way to earn profit by selling individual games and also making them more mobile. Say it loud, I'm black. Patricia Bath, I don't want to leave my sisters out. She invented the cataract probe. Why is this important? Because at this point, there was only one way to remove a cataract, which was simply by drilling holes, using a drill-like instrument to drill holes into the eye to remove the cataract. Oftentimes, people were left blind. She invented the laser, which was more accurate to remove the cataract. Also, it has given sight to over millions by restoring the cataract, being able to replace it for over 30 years now. Say it loud. Mark Hanna. Mark Hanna should be known in every movie that you watch. You should say, that's a black man. He invented 3D graphics. It is why it's important to us, because all of our films that involve 3D graphics like Jurassic Park, Terminator, The Abyss, The Matrix, Spider-Man, Marvel Comics, all of these movies that we see now that have this 3D technology were invented by this scientist. He was a computer scientist and is one of the founders of a software firm called Silicon Graphics, now known as CGI. You probably have heard of that. Where special effects genius developed 3D graphics technology that would be used in many movies made throughout Hollywood and now around the world. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm... Lonnie Johnson, 1949 and still living. He invented something that a lot of kids, Lord have mercy, are happy to have and love to have during the summer day. It's called the Super Soaker. He invented this child's toy as a great invention and a step up from what used to be just a regular water gun. The Super Soaker generated over $200 million in annual sales and turned the Mobile, Alabama native into a millionaire. He's now using his fortune to develop energy technology. Say it loud, I'm black. George Alcon, 1940, still living. He invented what we're calling the imaging X-ray spectrometer. Why is this important? Because of his image spectrometer, most of us are now able to examine materials that could not be broken down into smaller parts. Not only that, they have used this technology for NASA to do research on planets, using it to break down things that they have returned, such as rocks that have come back, things that have been falling out of the sky that came from another dimension, another galaxy, but being able now to examine them under this invention, the imaging X-ray. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Percy Julian, 1889 to 1975. He invented a new process of syntheses. Why is this important? Syntheses process was critical in the medical industry. It allowed scientists to create chemicals that were rare in nature. The chemist's work led to the birth control pill and improvements in production of cortisone. A lot of us use cortisone today to relieve pain, to get rid of rashes. Hello. And it is because of this synthesis that we're able to do this. In 2007, the PBS Novel series created a document on Julian's life called The Forgotten Genius. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Frederick Jones, 1893 to 1961. He invented the mobile refrigerator. Why is this important? His invention allowed us the transportation of perishable goods such as meats, produce, and changed the eating habits across the country. They called him the Thermo King. The company he co-founded became a leading manufacturer in refrigerated transportation. Jones also developed an air conditioning unit for the military in field hospitals and a refrigerator for military field kitchens. Jones has been awarded over 60 patents during his lifetime. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. George Carruthers, he invented the ultraviolet camera. This is important. The ultraviolet camera, spectrograph, was a device that traveled to the moon on the Apollo 16 in 1972. This camera was designed by the Cincinnati Navy and enabled researchers to study the Earth's atmosphere, providing crucial information on how the world really works. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Here's one that you probably use quite often. Alexander Miles should be thanked for this, 1838 to 1918. He invented the modern day elevator design. Although he did not invent the elevator, his design was very important. Alexander Miles improved the method of opening and closing the doors. He developed the closing of the elevator shaft when the elevator is not positioned at that floor. Prior to that, people had died because doors would open and the elevator would not be there, causing them to fall to their death. Because of his invention and this patent, most elevators today still work under the basic principle of automated opening and closing of doors. His life and his invention held down racial barriers in many ways also. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. I ain't got but about 2 more, and then I'm done for your history lesson for today. There will be after I get through. James E. West, 1931 to still living, present. He invented something called the electrical acoustic transducer electric microphone. In other words, without James West, rappers, your favorite rapper couldn't rock the mic, your favorite crooner could not sing, and your pastor could not preach without losing his voice. He developed the patent that gave us the modern day microphone. The microphone that has been used is now lightweight and more cost efficient. 90% of the microphones in use today, including telephones, tape recorders, camcorders, the recording function on your cell phone, are based on his original concept. Say it loud. Here's the last one. Arthur Zane, and a little closer. He was born in 1987. A little closer to our age. He invented what's called the CardioPad. What is the CardioPad, you ask? This Cameroonian engineer invented a CardioPad, which is a touch-screen medical tablet which enables us to have heart examinations such as electrocardiogram, ECG, to be performed in remote and rural locations. So now that those living in the deepest parts of Africa would not have to travel to a hospital or to urban centers to seek medical examinations. It could be done in the field on the fly. Say it loud. Those are just a few things that we have accomplished, that have been accomplished by our race. And if we had not, America would be a different place. We are an integral part of the fabric work of America. Young brothers and sisters, my children, don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not powerful, that you're not intelligent, that you have nothing to offer. Your race is full of smart, intelligent geniuses that look like us. All of them don't look like other people. They look like us. Had names like us. Grew up in situations like us. Their story is similar to ours. It's your history. You should be proud of it. So when you're sitting in school and you're trying to figure out, why am I here? Remember the people that have gone before you and what they accomplished. You can accomplish anything. Anything. Dr. May said, if you shoot for the moon and land among the stars, you'll be doing all right. You are great. You are awesome. You are intelligent. You're beautiful. And you're black. Well, you may ask, Pastor, what does your scripture have to do with what we just talked about? I got 11 minutes and I'm done. What does your scripture have with the fact of black history? Well, in this story, we find a remarkable man. We find his story only in Genesis as a long list of descendants from Adam. And in case you didn't know, anytime you talk about the Bible, you're talking about people of color. So don't let anybody ever tell you that the Bible is a white man's book. Just because they painted the white pictures and placed them on the wall, we know ain't no white folk gonna look like that living in Egypt. Y'all ain't hearing me. The Bible is full of colored people. People of color. If you read thoroughly, you will find that Peter had an encounter with an Ethiopian that changed Ethiopia forever. The earliest parts of Christianity in Africa can be traced back to this encounter. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's not the white man's religion. It's our religion. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. So what does Enoch have to do with this? Only mentioned in this short sentence. Enoch walked faithfully with God. In Genesis 5:22, repeated it in 5:24. It reveals why he was so special to his creator. In this wicked period before the flood, most men did not walk faithfully with God. They walked their own path, the crooked way of sin. Enoch did not keep silent about the sin around him. Jude says that Enoch prophesied about those evil people. Here's Jude. It simply says, see, the Lord is coming with thousands upon thousands of his holy ones to judge everyone and to convict all those of the ungodly acts that they have committed in their ungodliness, and all of the defiant words ungodly sinners have spoken against him. That's Jude 1:14-15. Hebrews 11 mentions Enoch in the great hall of faith. The passage says, Enoch's faith pleased God. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. Because anyone that's come to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those that earnestly seek him. Hebrews 11:5-6. But what happened to Enoch? The Bible gives few details other than to say, then he was no more because God took him away. Genesis 5:24. I got 7 minutes and I'm done. Enoch, somebody say Enoch, holds a rare distinction in the Bible, for he did not die. Instead, God took him away. Only one other person in the scripture has been honored to go this way, and that was the prophet Elijah. God took that faithful servant to heaven on a whirlwind. 2 Kings 2:11. Enoch walked in faith for 365 years of his life, and that made all the difference. No matter what happened, Enoch trusted God. He obeyed God. God loved Enoch so much that they were walking one day and they got so far away from Enoch's house that Bishop Powell would say that God said, we're a lot closer to my house than we are to yours. So he took him up. Now, we know Enoch's great-grandson, which was Noah. He also walked faithfully with God. Because of his righteousness, only Noah and his family were spared in the great flood. You can find many references in the Bible about Enoch. Genesis 5:18, Chronicles 1 and 3, Luke 3:37, Hebrews 11, 5 and 6, Jude 1:14 and 15. Enoch's strength could be denoted as he was faithful to God, trustful, and obedient. But here's the thing about Enoch that most people don't know. Enoch actually wrote a book in the Bible. If you know, there are books that were not placed into the Holy Bible, into the 66 books. Enoch wrote one of the books in the Bible, which describes what later would witness when Jesus came. Enoch was a black man. That injustice anywhere